Let's talk about cravings, because if you ever try to quit smoking, you know that the craving is the moment everything falls apart. You're doing fine, you're feeling good, you're telling yourself this time is different, and then it hits. That pull, that urge, that feeling like your whole body is asking for one thing and one thing only, and in that moment, most people give in. Not because they're weak, not because they don't want to quit badly enough, but because nobody ever taught them what to actually do when the craving shows up. That's what this video is for. I'm going to walk you through 7 ways to get past nicotine craving, and I mean actually get past it, not just distract yourself for a few minutes and hope for the best. By the way, if you want me to show you how I help people quit smoking in just 14 days, check out the first link in the description below. You'll get access to my school community where I show you everything step by step, because what I cover in that training goes much deeper than what we can get into here. Okay, let's talk about cravings. Way number 1, before you can get past a craving, you need to understand what it actually is, because most people think a craving means they need a cigarette. They feel the urge and they interpret it as their body saying, give me nicotine, but that's not what it's happening. A craving is just your brain running an old program. That's it. Think of it like a notification on your phone. Your brain has learned that in certain situations, stress, boredom, after a meal, with your morning coffee, the thing that comes next is a cigarette. So it sends you a notification. It pings you, and you've been answering that ping for years. So now it pings even louder. But here's the thing about notifications. You don't have to open them. You can let them sit there. You can even turn them off over time. The craving is not a command, it's a suggestion from a very old habit. And the more you understand that, the less power it has over you. When you feel a craving coming on, instead of panicking or immediately trying to fight it, just say to yourself, that's my brain running its old program. And then ask yourself, do I want to run this program today? That one shift in how you think about it can completely change how the craving feels. Number 2, use your breath as a reset button. This one sounds almost too simple, and I know that, but I need you to stay with me because this actually works, and there's a real reason why when a craving hits, your body goes into a mild stress response. Your heart rate picks up a little, your focus narrows, your body is getting ready to do the thing it always does, and breathing, slow intentional breathing, directly interrupts that response. It signals your nervous system to calm down. It brings you out of the automatic reaction and back into choice. Here's what I want you to try. The next time a craving comes, stop what you're doing, breathe in slowly for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts. Do that 4 times. That's less than 2 minutes. And in those 2 minutes, something shifts. The intensity of the craving starts to drop. Your body comes out of the stress response. You get a little bit of space between the urge and the action. There was a client I worked with, his name was James, and James was a heavy smoker. 2 packs a day for over 20 years. When we started working together, he was convinced that breathing exercises were too soft, too slow, not going to make a dent. He was a practical, non-nonsense kind of guy, but he agreed to try it just once, properly during a real craving. He told me afterward that he was shocked, not because the craving disappeared, it didn't, not immediately, but because for the first time in 20 years, he felt like he had a second to choose. That second is everything. Way number 3, delay and distract for just 5 minutes. Here's something that most people don't know. The peak of a nicotine craving lasts somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes. That's it. After that, it starts to fade on its own. The problem is that when you're in the middle of a craving, 5 minutes feels like forever. It feels like it's never going to end, but it always does. So the strategy here is simple. When a craving hits, make a deal with yourself. Just 5 minutes. You don't have to commit to never smoking again in that moment. You don't have to think about the rest of your life. Just 5 minutes. And during those 5 minutes, do something with your hands and your attention. Go for a short walk. Wash the dishes. Text someone. Play a game on your phone. Or do anything that keeps your hands busy and your mind slightly occupied. Because what you're doing is outlasting the craving. You're waiting for the wave to crash, and it will crash every single time. Think of it like sitting in traffic. You don't know exactly when it's going to clear, but you know it will. Nobody stays stuck in traffic forever. The craving is the same. It always clears. Your only job is to stay in the car. Way number 4, Find something to do with your hands. This sounds small, but it's actually huge. A lot of people don't realize how much of smoking is physical. The act of reaching, holding, bringing something to your mouth, the ritual of it, the hands are involved in almost every cigarette you've ever smoked. So when you quit, your hands don't know what to do. They feel restless, they feel empty, and that emptiness pulls you back toward the cigarette, even when the chemical craving isn't the main thing going on. So give your hands something. Some people chew on a straw, some people keep a pen or a toothpick around, some people squeeze a stress ball, some people start doing something with their hand entirely, cooking, drawing, building something, playing an instrument. Whatever it is, find something that keeps your hands engaged. There was a woman I worked with also named Diane. She had smoked for 30 years, and she told me the hardest part wasn't the nicotine, it was not knowing what to do during her breaks at work. She used to stand outside, smoke in hand, and feel completely at ease. When she quit, she stood outside and felt completely lost. So we came up with a plan. She started keeping a small notebook in her pocket. Every time she went on a break, she'd write something, a thought, a word, a doodle. Didn't have to be anything meaningful, just something for her hands to do. Within a month, she started looking forward to her breaks again. Same break, different thing in her hands. Way number 5, drink water. I know you're probably thinking, water? Really? But hear me out. Water works on a craving in more ways than one. First, there's the physical side. Nicotine withdrawal makes you feel restless and agitated in your body. Water actually helps flush the nicotine and metabolites out of your system faster, which means your body starts adjusting more quickly. Second, there's the ritual side. Drinking a full glass of water slowly gives you something to do with your hand and your mouth. It fills a few minutes, it gives you a pause, and third, and this is one that people don't expect, a lot of what feels like nicotine craving is also just dehydration. Your body is asking for something and your brain reaches for the most familiar answer, which is a cigarette. But sometimes when you drink a full glass of cold water, the craving softens almost immediately. Not because the water is magic, but because your body got something it actually needed, and the signal quiets down. Keep a water bottle with you everywhere when you're quitting. Make it your new constant companion. Every time a craving shows up, drink. It won't solve everything, but it helps more than most people think. I want to pause here for a second because we're halfway through, and I want to make sure you don't leave without doing this one thing. If any of what I'm sharing is resonating with you, if you're feeling like you're ready to actually do this, if you want me to show you how I help people quit smoking in 14 days without patches or gum or having hard times, check out the first link in the description below. You'll get access to my school community where I show you everything step by step. Okay, let's keep going. Way number 6, change your location. This one is so underrated and it works almost every time. Cravings are heavily tied to location and environment. Your brain has basically drawn a map of your life and marked certain spots with, this is where we smoke. The back porch, the parking lot outside work, the drive home, the kitchen after dinner, and when you're in those places, your brain lights up the old pattern automatically. So when a craving hits, move physically, go somewhere else. If you're in the kitchen, go to another room. If you're outside, go inside. If you're sitting down, stand up and walk to a different part of the house. It sounds almost too easy to work, but it does, because you're breaking the environmental cue that's triggering the craving in the first place. Your brain associated that spot with smoking. When you remove yourself from the spot, you remove part of the trigger. It's like how you always remember something you forgot the moment you walk back into the room where you forgot it. The room is a cue, the location is carrying information. Change the location and you interrupt the signal. One of my clients, a guy named Dre, figured this out on his own before we even talked about it. He told me that every time he got a craving at home, he would go and stand in his bathroom, of all places, just for a few minutes, and he said it always helped. He didn't know why, he just knew that the craving felt smaller in there. The reason was simple. He had never smoked in his bathroom, so his brain had no smoking memory connected to that room. It was neutral ground. Way number 7, remind yourself why in a very specific way. This last one is about your why, and I know you've heard remember your why before. but I want to take it a step further because most people's why is too vague to help them in the middle of a craving. I want to be healthier, I want to save money, I want to live longer. These are all real and meaningful, but in the middle of a craving, they're too abstract. They don't hit hard enough. They don't pull out the moment. So I want you to make your why specific. Not I want to be healthier, but I want to be able to walk up the stairs with my daughter without losing my breath. Not I want to save money, but I want to stop spending $300 a month on cigarettes so I can take that trip I've been putting off for 4 years. Not I want to live longer, but I want to be at my son's wedding. I want to meet my grandchildren. Can you feel the difference? The specific version lands in your chest. The general version just floats past your ears. Write your specific why down. Put it somewhere you'll see it during a craving, in your phone notes, on a sticky note, wherever. And when the craving hits, don't just think about it. Say it out loud. Say, I'm not smoking because I want to be there when my kids grow up. Say it like you mean it, because you do. So there you have it. 7 ways to go past nicotine craving. Know what craving actually is. It's just your brain running an old program, and you don't have to follow it. Use your breath to interrupt the stress response and buy yourself a moment of choice. Delay for just 5 minutes. Outlast the wave. Give your hands something to do. Drink water more than you think you need. Change your location when the craving hits, and make your why specific enough to actually reach you in that moment. Now, here's what I want you to understand. These strategies work, but they work even better when you're also dealing with the deeper stuff, the subconscious patterns, the identity, the emotional reasons you reach for a cigarette in the first place. Because cravings don't just come from nicotine, they come from years of your brain learning that a cigarette is a solution to stress, the boredom, the discomfort. And until you change that belief at the root, the cravings will keep coming back. That's the deeper work, and that's exactly what I help people with. So if you're ready to go deeper, click the link in the description right now if you want me to show you how I help people quit smoking in 14 days. You'll get access to my school community where I show you everything step by step. You've already taken the first step by watching this. Now let's take the next one together.